Did you just dump the whole bag out?
No. Nope, not a bit. Okay. Normally I'm not bothering to show the rune readings. However, Leo, you did this to yourself. So I'm going to
First
attempt to.
off, first off, this is Leo for February of 2020.
Okay.
All right.
All right. And Leo, um, normally I don't bother to show the runes as they've fallen, but this time I think I'm going to show you because, well, you did it to yourself. Tell me when the runes are visible, Seth.
They are. They're all face down except one.
Right. Okay. So, Leo, what's going on? You appear to be really, really, really in the subconscious right now, in the unseen. It's like you're in the mysteries or something. The one rune that you have up, and it's in its upright position, is Kano, which is creativity. It's fire. It's warmth. It's light. It's clarity. And you have that laying on the subconscious of the emotions, which are headed down. So it's like you it's almost like you're starting to shine the light on your emotions in a weird way. It's like they're maybe becoming, I think you're becoming aware that your emotions are not in the normal realm that they normally would be in. I think this has to do with Mercury going retrograde. But yeah, it's like things are really hidden for you right now.
Okay. And part of the reason for that is the Eight of Pentacles, that you've been focusing so much on the material aspect of living, looking for promotions, looking for it's like your head is very much involved in the apprentice work that you're doing, learning new stuff that you haven't had time to really feel. But the good news is all this work you've been doing is going to pay off handsomely. But go ahead.
Something's wrong with this reading. We need to start over. This is not right.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I looking at it and stuff, it's just like...
I'll turn this off and let's start again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shall I reshuffle my cards too?
I don't know if you need to. I just know that what I've got going on is not... it's like I'm looking at it and it's like... Hey, what's up for my Leos out there? Okay. And I'm ready to give it a go.
Did it do it again?
Can you see him?
Yeah.
Got
They're
two face up. Okay. So I'm wrong. That reading was right, I guess.
Leo, this is your February 2020 reading. We tried to do one a minute ago, and there was just something that didn't feel right about it, so we started again. And we're still getting a lot of hidden influences with the runes.
Yes. Yes. Very, very much. The one rune that you have you have two runes sort of face up, sort of. The first one is Dagas, which is the point of between light and dark. Okay, and it indicates that some things are coming clearer and some things aren't. It's sort of like when you're out in the dawn or the dusk and you can make out shapes, but you don't necessarily see colors. You don't necessarily see textures and stuff. So this is like you've got some sort of a weird awakening going on. Like something's really hidden and changed.
This is a Seven of Swords. It's a card of deception. And this has to do with self-deception. You have led yourself to believe things that are not true. And you're about to have an awakening around that, where you're going to realize that some of your thought process, some of your, maybe even I'm hearing your plans are faulty. They're based on false information. I almost get a sense that in the past, you have been guilty of trying to circumvent, go around lessons in life. And by doing so, it's catching up to you now. And those lessons are going to slap you in the face.
Yep. Kind of, you got a little bit of a mess. And one of the things I want to just highlight here is that we do have Mercury in retrograde. So the situation you're in is temporary but fast moving. Okay. And one of the very first things that I see here is that your intuition is in its absolute downward position. So you're not listening to yourself, strangely enough. You're it's almost willful ignorance. Ignorance is bliss, and so you're very happy right now. But it's like a refusal to look at what's going on around you currently, I think. At least not deeply.
And you are in need of a spiritual douche, better known as the Star card, which says you have a healing coming on. I feel a healing coming on. It's actually a very beautiful card, but it feels to me like there is a scab being ripped away, and the healing can then begin to occur. There's a thing called debridement in medical science where they cut out the dead tissue in order for the healthy tissue to survive. And that sort of feels how it's going. It's kind of a painful process, but it is well worth it.
One of the things that's going on is that subconsciously you're feeling overwhelmed, overrun. You're not giving yourself enough space, or you don't have enough space right now. I have a feeling that it's like internally you've got this jangle of stuff going on in your head, where it's almost like there's so many voices in your head. Not saying anything about your mental health, but there's so many voices demanding your attention right now that you just, oh my God, where do I even look? Where do I begin? Wah. And so it's overwhelming your ability to protect yourself or defend yourself right now. You don't have a very clear picture of things. And so that's a huge part of the confusion that's going on with you.
That and the universe is picking your life up and shaking the hell out of you. The tower. Yep. All that stuff that you've been wishing would go away is going to be removed. But here's the problem. You don't handle it very well. You're prone to depression. And it's a time where if you let yourself and you try to fight it, you try to control it, you're going to be depressed. But this is actually of your highest good. It's scary whenever our life feels like it's going out of control, especially for Leos who they like to feel like they're the leaders. And you're not going to feel that way right now. This is a very short term. This is just from now until March. So just hang in there. But you're going to get sort of a rude awakening about some stuff, not only about yourself, but people around you. And you're going to probably have to let some of them go because they're really toxic in your life.
Yeah, what he said. You have two runes that have come up in conjunction. One of them is Perth, and Perth deals with Loki, who is a trickster god, and he often used lies and deception in order to get things going. He would use a lot of deception to trick the gods into doing the things that he wanted. So I think that you've got sort of a karmic situation where somebody's not at all on the up and up with you. And that could be internal, that could be you, but this also deals with, in this situation, in the position that this is in, it deals with a karmic situation with somebody else as well. And the thing is this person is directly uh, messing with your potential. That is the blank rune that I just held up, which is the one that Perth is lying on top of. And the blank rune is potential. It's neither good nor bad. It just is. And with that, this person, this situation, this karmic thing is holding you in place. It's not letting you move. Um, and I think that's part of the struggle that you're having is it's like when I was talking about you getting overwhelmed by the voices, it's almost like you're not able to cipher through all the mixed messages, all the confusion, all the weirdness that you're going through with this individual and this situation. So it's got you really, really, really befuddled.
And it's got me befuddled.
Cool.
So the card that came up is the Ten of Cups. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
It's a wonderful, happy life. It's incredible. And I couldn't figure out why this is coming up in the middle of all this chaos and confusion. So I pulled another card, and it came up the Knight of Cups, which means that someone is offering this to you. But I still couldn't figure out because it's such an innocent card until I pulled a third card, and it's another knight. So what's happening is that you're going to have a choice here to make between love and financial. You have the lover and the dreamer who wants to come and sweep you away off your feet, and then you have the one that can actually take care of you. In both these situations, they're both still maturing. They're not. Your tendency is to fall in love with dreamers, and dreamers oftentimes are not the most mature people in the world. That doesn't mean they're bad, but be careful of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Because if you keep choosing, immature people, you're going to have immature relationships.
You know, one other side note on the Knight of Pentacles, he is the slowest moving knight of all of them. I mean, if you look at the card, hold the card up for a second again, please. If you look, he's not really moving. He's sitting there. The horse is showing.
He's an earth sign, and earth signs are very slow, Taurus especially.
So part of what you may be facing is some impatience. And part of why you're having that impatience, you're like, hurry up quicker. Let's do this. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Is you've got Suelu, which is the sun. And it's a huge load of energy coming in. Okay. So again, all of this has been in your background or your subconscious. But it's like you've got these energy rushes that are just like, I want it now, I want it now, I want it now. And that is giving you some problems because, again, I don't think you've got the information you need right now because everything was face down. So that information, the signs, it's like you may be interested in somebody and they're not really giving you signs right now. You may not even be aware that there's somebody who's paying attention to you or somebody's, but I think you're having problems with your patience level because it's like, I want it now. Thank you very much.
Well, so, This this is a very strange reading, trying to get this to go with the runes, because this is like its own reading and you're doing your own reading. It's like two different. Maybe they're making more sense to the audience than they are to me. But this is a card of the Dark Night of the Soul. Lovers unable to find a meeting place. They can't get. They're trying to get into the temple, which is where the relationships last, and they can't get in there. If you'll look, they're just weary. They're broken down and weary. It's and the card that came up with that is the Devil card, which is a card of addiction. So I'm gonna go off on a chance here and say either you have got an addiction that is destroying you and needs to be addressed, or you're attracting people in your life that have addictions that are destroying you. So I don't know what that has to do with your rune reading.
Well,
yes.
In a way, I think it makes sense because, again, we've got this karmic situation. We've got a lack of intuition. We have a lack of protection through space. So it's like they're not really seeing where their protection lies. I don't know. Dude, you got me. Because the next rune that I've got is Kano, which is another fiery energy. It's literally fire. And it's in its upright position, which would indicate creativity, warmth, clarity, just energy to build. You know, the negative of it is the burning things to the ground, you know, destruction. But this is in its upright, so it's a happy, joy kind of thing. So,
well, it makes more sense with this card. Again, this is a really short time you're in this reading. This is just kind of like what's going on right now for the next 30 days or so. But you have the Ace of Wands, which is the beginning of change, and it's also the fire element. It has to do with flexibility and growth and new growth and stuff. Come in. Come out swinging.
An angel just got its wings.
I'm having to believe that so much of this reading is past issues that are resurfacing, that you're having to once and for all let go of so you don't repeat them. It's not even karmic, it's life choices. The good news is that's happening and there's stability. You have the King of Pentacles coming in, which is stability. That things are going to ultimately be okay. It's just getting through this really rough patch right now.
You know, my sense is that this is probably not going to resonate with the vast majority of you.
Yeah,
I feel like this is a very specific reading for someone, rather than a massive reading for the collective of Leo out there. So whoever this is, whatever your need is, it seems like it's fairly great because it's really like pushing everything else out. It does feel very, very much like your reading feels as confusing as I think the inside of your head feels right now, is what it is. It's like, I get the sense like it's good, it's bad, it's good, it's bad, it's good, it's bad. There's no know anything that feels grounded or normalized in this.
Yeah, you're being prone to depression, and that's making everything seem much bigger than it really is. There's a sense of hopelessness in that, and I don't think that that's all true. So a lot of this, I think, is more of an emotional reading.
Yeah, it's a very scattery, very confused energy, and I'm seeing if anybody else wants to come out of this bag here. Okay, these two want to say something. Okay, give me just a moment. Okay, all right. The last I pulled two more just for kind of a clarification, and again, as we've stated in this is a very fast-moving energy. The two runes that I pulled are, well, the first one is Berkana, and that deals with growth. It deals with clarity. Um, and the other rune that you've got is Tyr. And Tyr is also growth, but it's a sacrifice. You need to sacrifice something in order to get what you're going through. I think that Seth may have nailed this with the addictive thing. I think that there's some sort of an addiction going on here, and you need to let go of that. Whether your addiction is to a person, to drugs, to alcohol, to all of the above, I don't know. But there's something very, very strange and very, very hidden in all of this that I don't understand. And, the growth is there. The potential for growth is there. The potential for a bountiful harvest is there. But you need to get clear with yourself.
Upon reflection, it's very obvious to me that you're hitting a bottom. You're hitting a very severe bottom, one that you've never experienced before. And you're not going to be able to do this by yourself. So if you're facing an addiction with alcohol, you may want to try Alcoholics Anonymous or check into a treatment center. The same with drug addiction, Narcotics Anonymous.
Sex addiction.
Gambling addiction, anything that's destroying your life, because spiritually you're hitting a huge bottom. And ultimately, if you don't stop, this ends three ways. We either clean up and sober up, we get locked up, or we get covered up. And those are severe
consequences
for what you're doing. But you have the power to do this. You just have to make the decision and follow through. This is not whether you're a good person or a bad person. This is about an illness that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, there is something about this that feels very almost delusional to me, for lack of better wording. It's very, very piecemeal, very, very it's like being in a fog or something where you're just seeing little bits and pieces of stuff, but nothing is solid in this. And I don't really know where to take that, honestly, except that it just feels like there's so much confusion and delusion in here that I think whoever this reading belongs to, find your friends, find your family, talk to them about what's going on, talk to them about the confusion you're feeling. I think there's help there for you. Okay. There are good things in this reading. The sun coming up is a really strong symbol for you. Kano, which is fire, also a very strong symbol for you. Leo being a fire sign, you've got the two runes that both are indicative of, fire, passion, movement, creativity, light. You've got all of this. You've got your growth. You've got, growth with a sacrifice. Okay. So, I mean, it's not like everything is all doom and gloom and horrible. You do have support here. Okay. However, the fact that everything feels so confusing, like you can't get a hold of things, tells me that you're needing insight from outside sources. You need to talk to whoever it is, whether it's friends, family, therapist, whatever, in order to get things where you can feel like you've got a solid hold on them. With the King of Pentacles, I believe you drew that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, with that's what you're looking for, is that stability. I think you're going to find that stability, but it is going to come from reaching outside of yourself.
The King of Pentacles can also be someone you seek wise counsel from.
Oh, there you go.
They're very wise. There you
go.
They're very grounded, and they've had a lot of experience.
Yes. So, for what it's worth, remember, short-lived, fast-moving energy. Your confusion is part of the illusion. Thank you. Your confusion is part of the illusion of whatever's going on right now. It's all twisted up. This is going to clarify, but talk to outside sources. Bring yourself out of yourself so that you're not stuck looking at mirrors that are reflecting each other.
We are only as sick as our secrets.
I'm actually a little sicker than that.
No, I've heard your secrets. They're pretty sick.
Cool. That's the nicest thing you've ever said. All right, Leo, for those of you this didn't resonate with, I'm sorry. Sometimes readings are like this, and apparently whatever this issue is, it's fairly urgent. I would
feel free to contact us, and we will help you get help.
Yes. But, for those of you it didn't resonate with, please look at, other readers and go there. Apparently, whatever this message was, it really seems like it was directed to an person rather than the bunch of us. So, sorry about that. I hope you'll come back and give us another look-see. And, normally our readings are not quite so... whatever it was this was. See, the confusion's spreading to me. Anyway, we appreciate your time, and you guys have a lovely evening. For whoever this was for, may there be blessings on you. Remember, it's going to be fast. It may be rough, but you're going to come through. Okay? You've got good things that are showing up. So, again, be blessed.